So 12th SS is reinforcing this sector. This is Épron. That is Cambe or whatever. But they're basically surrounding this town on the outskirts and setting up a defensive line in this area. Cambe-En-Plaines is over there, and that's Malon. If you see, this is really fucking small. That's the thing that you don't understand when you're like looking at these battlefields compared to like Russia or something, is that this geographic area, you can see one town to the next to the next. You can see 3 towns, and I'm just standing on the edge of a field here, and you can see just about everything. So it's pretty crazy to think that there was probably German soldiers in these hedgerows and in these fields digging holes in trenches and just fighting in this small geographic area, which is probably only like a kilometer by a kilometer. So this is not even marked on Google or anything. So from reading this, we can see that 24th Panzer Grenadier occupied Eprom, this area right here where I am, and Cambe-En-Plaines, and Cambe-En-Plaines is up here. That's like a chateau. So yeah, we had 25th Regiment of Panzer Grenadiers, so probably Otto Funk's unit was in this area. So it says like, yeah, they were stretching from Le Béziers to Épron to Cambe Forest on the Cussy road, which is here. This is what I'm walking on right now. It's an old railroad, so we can see that probably since most of their tanks were taken out, the 25th's tanks and the 12th SS Panzer Regiment's tanks were taken out by this time. There weren't a whole lot of them left. There was probably about like half strength maybe. So you can see that the British were advancing to the northeast over here and pushing in this way, doing like a hook maneuver. And we can see that this is probably the 12th SS right here, because this is marked 21st and this just isn't marked. They don't like to fucking mark this shit. So we can see that they were trying to push them off this defensive line here, which is like about 150 meters that way. So yeah. Okay, so I didn't really record any footage of when I was in this area, so here are a couple photos of the Royal Ulster Rifles Cemetery, as well as a couple of the monuments leading to La Gamanche. So it will commence in just a second here. Okay, so that is La Gamanche, I think is what it is, the little chateau area. And over there is Épron and Cambe-En-Plaines, and that over there is Buron. This is Buron is over here, over this ridge line, and this is Sans Contest. So the 12th SS line was from north of that over, probably over in those hedgerows over there, around Buron. And then 1st SS Panzer Corps over there, past Buron, and then southwards towards the Abbey D'Ardenne is 12th SS. So cool. So this is the church of Sans Contest. There were elements of the 25th Panzer Grenadier Regiment that held out in this area. This church was almost in ruins by the time the Allies rolled in here in June. See, there's the original bell, noticing some other things. You can see the obvious battle damage that is present in the church from so long ago. Even these monuments are impacted severely. So as we walk through here, I came in through this side door over here. That's the main door, but you can see the old stonework and everything else. And apparently they were German soldiers holed up in here for quite some time, especially in the bell tower. Okay, so here's the exterior of the church at Sans Contest. as well as some photos of British troops advancing in the area and their war memorial. As you can see, the church is very, very battle damaged still, as this was a site of heavy fighting and shelling. On to the Abbey de Arden. Okay, so this is Buron. That's Orthy. Oh, way far in the distance, that is the Abbey D'Ardenne, the 12th SS observation point and command post. That is Cussy, C-U-S-S-Y, Cussy, and over there is Caen. So I'm going to walk from here all the way to the Abbey de Arden, and I will update when I'm almost there. Buron, Orthy, Orthy. That is Ro, and then Brietteville, right beyond that. Cussy and the Abbey de Arden. Okay, so Cussy, Rue de Caen. So this is the main road into Caen. Saint-Germain-le-Blanc-Hebert. That's what it says on there. And then, yeah, we can see Cussy, and I'm going to cross the road. As you can see, this is a very, very, oh shit, maybe you can't see. As you can see, this is a very, very big, wide, open area. So 12th SS had a Nebelwerfer attachment positioned near the Abbey de Arden, and a lot of their artillery detachments were spread throughout. So Épron is over there, a little bit that kind of direction. Buron is right over there, so they were constantly shelling Buron from June to July after, well, when they were doing counteroffensives there. So in July, it was taken over by Stafford, I think it was the Staffordshire or Stafford Brook Regiment, Fusilier Regiment from England. So they occupied that on the 8th, I believe, 8th or 9th. So they were constantly bombarding that area when it was occupied by English troops. And they were probably coming this direction, and 12th SS positions were, majority of them were outside of this area in entrenched positions with anti-tank ditches and trench lines. So, yep. This is the main town, Orthy-Cussy. So, yep, here we are. The main sort of plaza area of the town as it extends that way. So, yep, you can see this is named after Colonel Charles Petch. I gotta look into it. I don't really know who that is, so, yep. And this road that I'm walking down now is the road of the Hussard Canadian Regiment. So, we're going to be going down this road to the Abbey de Arden. Now, on the outskirts of Cussy, we have the sign for Orthy, and that is the Abbey de Arden. It is a big, imposing building. Makes sense why it was a command post as well as an observation area. I'm going to walk the Avenue d'Arden right up to the front and take some pictures. And as I walk closer, here it is, the Abbey de Arden, the command post of the 25th Regiment, 12th SS Hitlerjugend. So it's a pretty big complex. From there all the way over here, it's fairly large. You can see the old glass windows and where they would observe troop movements from on top. So yep, pretty big. I will take some more videos closer. Moving closer to the Abbey. On that far wall, just beyond it, on the other side, there was a Flak 88 emplacement where they were shelling constantly, and probably a mortar pit and several other support weapons over there. So as we get closer here, you can see it is a large complex. It's quite out in the open. Apparently the 12th SS was just running cars and everything else out of here, just out in the open. They didn't really seem to care about enemy fire or anything. They just would just drive cars and hang out outside. So pretty interesting. because this is just a massive complex, but it's wide out in the open. I mean, you can look around. It's open, it's large. Oh, out of focus here. It's open, it's large. It's right on the outskirts of Caen, so it's a perfect command post. A good observation. So now that we are in front of the Abbey de Arden, this is the main gate. It was reconstructed at after the war, so the walls that you see now were not present, or they were present, but they were remade. You could see bullet impacts on the main gate and everything. So this wall to my right is actually where Gunter Strelo, there's a picture of him, very young guy, wearing full Epsom Muster .44 uniform, was taken actually right here, right about where that rock was, right in the corner of this building. And there's also several other pictures of 25th Regiment Panzer Grenadiers and support weapons crews moving out from this position on their way to Authie and then eventually Loh. So here, where a lot of pictures were also taken. There's a couple pictures of Strimwagens and everything else here. So we're gonna get a closer look. As you can see, there is a lot of battle damage still here. This wall does not have any because it was reconstructed. This is the original wall. I also heard that they widened the doorway a little bit as well. And you can kind of see on this wall here, the original wall was on this side, right up against that section of the building. So right here was where Gunter Strelo was standing when his picture was taken before he headed out to Authie. There's another picture of him in a hole with another group of guys, probably a Zug. And here, his last one of his last photos was ever taken. He was 18 years old when he was killed. Him and his MG2 were killed here, just outside in Authie during the attacks a couple days later in the region. So, and I think they are both buried at Brisonville, or at least his MG2 is buried at Brisonville. I think Gunter Strelo resides in Le Cambe. So we're going to look at this gate now. So getting closer to the gate, you can see a lot of battle damage is still here. A lot of big impacts on the wall. Some other little carvings and such are still here. There are a lot of pictures of divisional staff inside the Abbey de Arden. Today it is closed. It is Bastille Day, Sunday, July 14th. So this is closed currently, but still see a lot of the outside, and that's what I will be showing. There's a lot of impacts, and yet this is still standing. So it's a nice piece of history. Okay, so I was wrong. The Abbey de Arden is open today for some reason. So you can see the inside of the courtyard. You have the spot where Witt was getting awarded certain medals, and there's also like a picture of him holding a piece of a like silver SDKFC, and you can see a lot of pictures of officers in here. So very, very cool place to be. So here we are back again in the Abbey de Arden. That is where the front gate is. The courtyard is over there, so I showed that off already. This is the main gate of the Abbey de Arden. Right here, there's a photo of Witt and his officers coming out of this building where they were housed, walking into the Abbey de Arden to get observational knowledge. And then there is another photo, if I turn around this way, of Hubert Meyer standing about here with his adjuncts, and they are planning something. I believe that this portion of the abbey was partially destroyed, so there was a staircase here for this side, and they are standing about right there, plotting and scheming, and definitely getting some observational knowledge from this place. And in looking closer at the abbey and the gatehouse, we can see there's a lot of battle damage still on it. This was virtually destroyed when the Germans evacuated in July. So this was merely a shell of itself. I'm surprised that It is still standing. They have rebuilt it, and I'm going to go see if it's open. So on the side of the Abbey, oh, get back and focus there. You can see these almost look like turrets, parapets almost. And you can kind of picture the German soldiers staying up here and just scouting all day. Artillery, troop observations, armor movements. This is where they did it from. It was all on top of this building. For close to a month, they were posted up here. So this portion right here actually used to be bigger. There are photos of it afterwards, and there's another portion of the building on this side, but as you can see, it's been destroyed and not rebuilt after the war, so it looks like this now, but it's still a gorgeous building. More than I was talking about, more destroyed buildings up there. This is another section of the courtyard over here. There's a little, oh, let me refocus that. There's a little seating area in here. That's another building, another section of the courtyard. But over here, we can get a good look at the outside of the building, the destruction of said building. I don't know why the camera decided to get in that type of quality, so we'll just zoom out a little bit. But yeah, you can see that this was virtually destroyed. And 12th SS had a flak gun emplacement on that side of the Abbey, facing Cussy to our west. And they used that for artillery as well as anti-tank. So that's what the exterior of this building looks like. It is still a great observation post. There are pictures of 12th SS guys standing along the roof using binoculars on the opposite side, of course, but still along this side of the roof as well to get a good overview of all the positions. It's amazing that this is still here. And now on to the main courtyard of the Abbey. This is the main courtyard, yeah. So this building here was the command building. There were pictures of Kurt Meyer and Fritz Witt coming out of this building. And